Hello everybody, so today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about differential equations. So now I will show you how to answer. So in this situation, we need to use about complementary solutions and particular solutions. So we have yc in here. So we put about e to the power of lambda t. So if we do first derivative, you will go about lambda e to the power of lambda t. And the second derivative, you go about lambda square e to the power of lambda t. So we have this one equal to number 0. Now we put this one go in here and this one go in here. Now we do factorization of this one. So we got this one equal to number 0. So we got about lambda equals to number 0 and lambda equal to number 1. So in this situation, we have yc and we got about c1. E to the power of 0s, so this one you got about 1. And we have c2 e to the power of 1s, so you got about s. Now let's go to the second one. That's about particular solution. So we put about yp. So we see that we have this one in here. So that means we need to put about a1 e to the power of t sine t, and we have a2 e to the power of t cosine t. Now we need to find first and second derivative. About second derivative, you will go about this one because we do first derivative e to the power of t plus this one we change for cosine t. Next, we do first derivative of this one. We keep the same because we do first derivative e to the power of t. Later that we do first derivative of cosine t and you got about negative. And we change for sine t. Now we need to find second derivative. So we do first derivative of this one. And we same this one in here. Now we do first derivative of this one, so we keep the same this one e to the power of t. Later that we need to negative a1 e to the power of t sine t. So we continue to do first derivative of this one minus this one sine t. Now we do first derivative of this one. After that we have cosine t in here. Now we need to simplify this one minus this one plus this one, so you got about 2. This one minus this one minus with minus, so you got about negative number 2. I choose e to the power of t sine t. Now we go back to this equation. So we have this one. We minus first the derivative of this function. So we simplify. A1e to the power of t cosine t minus A1e t cosine t. So you got about this one. Negative number 2 A2 et sine t. Negative with negative, you got about positive. So you got about negative A2 et sine t minus this one and this one. This is sine t, not cosine t. Now we need to arrange based on the term of e to the power of t cosine t and et sine t. So you will got about, we have A1 minus A2 and we have negative A2 plus A1. So if we look carefully about this equation, let's just concentrate about et cosine t. So et cosine t coefficient in here should be equal to number 1 because we don't have this one. This one should be equal to number 0. Now we create the system of equations. So we have this one in here equal to number 1 A2 plus A1 equal to number 0. So we find A1 and A2. So A1 1 over 2 A2 is about negative 1 over 2. After we find about this one, we go back to this one in here and we change for 1 over 2 negative 1 over 2. Now we combine complementary solution and particular solutions, so we got a final answer. So complementary solution we got in here, particular we got in here. Now let's go to the conditions. So when t equal to number 0, y equal to number 0, when t equal to number 0, first the derivative of the function equal to number 0. So we create the system of equations to find C1 and C2. C1 we got in here. If we put this is about T. So if we put T equal to number 0, you got about C2. Now, if we put number 0 for side, you will got about 0. So we just move to the next one. If cosine of 0 in here, you got about 1, 1. So you got about negative 1 over 2 equals to number 0. And this is the first equation. Now we go to second equation. We need to find first the derivative of the function. So you got about C2 e to the power of t. So we do first the derivative of this one. So we do first the derivative of this one. So we put t equal to number 0, you got about C2 in here. This one you got about 0, this one you got about 1 over 2. This one you got about negative 1 over 2. And this one you got about 0. So we simplify everything. And now we got about C2 equal to number 0 and C1 equal to 1 over 2. And now we got the final answer. Now we go back to this one. We put 1 over 2 go in here, number 0 go in here. So we got about 1 over 2. This one you got about 0, so we need to simplify. Now we go to the second question. So we will use the same technique. So we have complementary solutions and particular solutions. So about complementary solution, we got about yc equals to e to the power of lambda t. So if we do first the derivative, you got about lambda e to the power of lambda t. And second derivative, you got about lambda square e to the power of lambda t. So we have this one. We put equal to number 0. Now we replace this one for this one, and this one for this one, and this one for this one. So you will got the new one. Next, we need to do about factorization of e to the lambda t. So we got about this one. So we have two solutions in here. The first one, that's about 1 plus 2i. And the second one, 1 minus 2i. Now we got about yc equals to c1 e to the power of number 1 s. So you got about s, and we got about sine 2s. So the next one, we have c2 e to the power of s cosine 2s, and this is the first one. Now we go to particular solutions. In particular solutions, we see that we have 1 plus t. Oh, sorry, this is about t not s. About particular solution, we have 1 plus t in here. So y particular should be put about a1 a2 t. So first derivative you got about a2. Second derivative you got about 0, because this is about constant. Now we put this one to replace for y, and a2 we go in here, number 0 go in here. Now we need to expand this one. And we got this one equals to this one, 1 plus t. So we have a1 and a2. This is about the constant in here, should be equal to number 1. Find a2 equal to number 1 because coefficient of t you got about 1. So we find solution of a1 and a2. a1, a2, that is simple. You got about 1 over 5. And a1, we will got about 7 over 25. After we calculate about two numbers in here, we go back to this one. We put 7 over 25 and 1 over 5 we put in here. Now we combine yc and yp. Now, because we have the conditions in here, we need to find c1 and c2. If we do first derivative, you will go about this one. First derivative of sine 2t, you got about 2 cosine 2t. we do first derivative of this one. First derivative of cosine 2t, you got about negative 2 sine 2t. So we got about 1 over 5. Now, if we put number 0, you got about 0. First derivative of the function, we put t equal to number 0 in here, you got about 4 for this one in here. Now, we create the system of equations. So, we put number 0, 0, this one you go 0, 0, 0, you got about 1. So, you got about C2 plus 7 over 25 equal to number 0. Now, we put number 0, 0. This one go to 0, so you got about 0, 0, 0 in here. This one you got about 1, so we got about 2C1. We put 0, 0 in here, you got about C2. This one you got about 0 plus 1 over 5 equal to number 4. After we calculate this one, we got about C2 equal to negative 7 over 25. And we got about C1. That should be about 51 over 25. After we calculate C1 and C2, we go back to this one. And we put this number go in here. And this number go in here. That's it the end. Thank you for watching.